Yeah, yeah, everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Hey, 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 everybody, it's time for Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. It's the cutting room floor. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Here's something that we didn't touch on today.
Let me ask you this, Brendan. When you go travelling, are you a person who makes the most of wherever you are? You eat and drink the street food. You sit in restaurants and try the local delicacies. What kind of traveller are you when it comes to food?
Yeah, I like to experience the local flavours. I must say, if I'm walking along the streets of Bali, I don't go and eat that rank chicken off the side of the road that they're cooking.
No, you wait till it's dead.
You know, when they're cooking the chicken on the sticks, I'm not going to do that. But I certainly wouldn't bring food with me.
No, and isn't that interesting? This man, and he and his partner boast about how they do this. He's a UK resident. He spends about $400 to take a suitcase full of food on his holiday. So this is what he took when they went to Egypt. They even took a George Foreman grill.
What?
Yep. So he says, I like my home comforts when I go abroad. Instead of searching for decent food, I'll take my own. So this is what they took with them. And this is people, they're not old coots. Well, he's 40. His wife is 29. You do the maths.
Wow.
Here's what they took. 21 cups of instant noodles, 86 bags of chips, 2 packets of bacon. How's that not going to spoil in a suitcase?
Wow.
A pack of 30 sausages.
Yep.
Cans of tuna, a block of cheese, brown sauce. You know, if you ask an English person what's in brown sauce, they'll say it's brown. You go, what's in it? I don't know. It's just brown. No one knows what's in it. It is just brown.
I thought it was Worcester sauce.
There's instead of saying Worcester. Worcestershire.
What do you say? Worcestershire?
It's Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire, sure.
Apparently that's got anchovies in it. Fun fact.
Well, also, he's crammed 30 McVitie's Club biscuit bars, 16 bags of sweets. I hate these people already. And lots of breakfast bars. So on her TikTok channel, she shows the entire pantry that she takes with them for their trip. So their trip is nearly $2,000 for an all-inclusive vacation package, and they take all their own food.
Well, you know.
Why go to Egypt if you're not going to enjoy life?
Yeah. And
why don't you just stay home and look at slides?
Exactly. You know, you go to Egypt and the food, I've never been to Egypt, but there'd be a lot of, rice and camel and stuff like that.
Well, that's part of travelling. My grandfather had a phrase book, one of which was the expression, is Egyptian phrase book, and it was, my stomach is in disarray. It told you how to say that phrase in Egyptian. I guess that's common. You need to know it.
Because that could well be India, really.
Well, I am known for my iron guts.
Yep.
I travelled through India. I travelled a whole lot of places with Beyond 2000, and I never, touch wood, got the runny stomach.
Because from what I've heard about India, you're going to just whoop your dacks when you go to India.
Well, I never whooped my dacks. There were probably some times I can't actually remember. But in places like China too, I remember being in the hotel thinking, please God, if I've got to go to the toilet, let it be now, because I know what toilets I'm going to see throughout the day in rural China 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I wish I'd taken my McVitie biscuits and a couple of sausages. Because I think I've told you this. This was, as I said, rural China over 30 years ago. But we were taken around so they could show off their agriculture, and they were growing some of it in human waste.
Of course.
So when I smelt the food cooking, I couldn't distinguish what I was smelling. It all smelt. It's like after a while when you smell Glen 20, you think you're smelling poo.
Yeah.
After a while, the toilet smelled like the food smelled like the toilet.
Didn't you encounter the worst toilet in China?
And it's not a tourist destination, the worst toilet in China. Well, we were trying to do a story on the space program that was launching an OSAT satellite. Remember OSAT?
Yeah.
And so the Australian government had arranged this story so we could view the facility where the satellite would take off from. And I think now looking back, it was all bull. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Because when we got there, we were just shown people cleaning machinery. And we said, well, they didn't want us to see anything.
Right.
So finally, we went to some facility where it was supposed to be, this is where it will take off.
So what did they say? Take the round eyes to somewhere they can go and have a look at.
I think that was probably it.
Satisfy them.
And Caspar Weinberger was the American, I think it was their version of head of foreign affairs, Secretary of State, maybe that's his role. And so we went to, and there were photos of them on the wall. They had also done a tour of this facility. So I just thought, I'll just go to the bathroom. And there's a picture on the front, you know those ones, it's a lady's profile with the finger touching her nose.
Yeah.
She's been holding her nose. I went in there. It will always, for me, be known as the Mrs. Weinberger because it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Go on.
It was a toilet in the floor, and that's fair enough because that's what Chinese were using.
A squat?
A squat toilet. Well, just not, a squat, like a, porcelain in the floor.
Yeah, but there's no...
But what I saw there resembled Marge Simpson's hair. Layer upon layer upon layer. And halfway up was a slipper wedged in. Like a jaunty Marie Antoinette kind of wig. Thank you for making me retell that story. So that toilet became known as the Mrs. Weinberger because presumably they were showing off that they'd been to that facility. I don't think she would have appreciated it.
You'd think China, with everything that it would have good toilets.
Well, they probably do. I'm sure they do now. This was a long time ago.
Because you go to the Middle East, not that I've been to the Middle East, well, I've been to Dubai, but they've still got the squat toilets over in Dubai.
Well, usually what happens now in a lot of places in China too, even then, there were the Western toilets and then there was the local toilets.
Yeah.
So on our day off, our driver said, I'll take you to the Great Wall of China, but he took us to the area where the locals were. Mm-hmm. And so the toilets, now I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
The toilets, it was a big open slab with slits in it, and you squatted and looked at other people.
Oh.
There were no doors between them. I've never quite recovered. It's amazing I haven't been constipated ever since.
So you went in there with your form guide.
Excuse I?
I'll be. Oh, this is why I whoop my dacks in the airport lounge.
You're only flying to Melbourne. I'm sorry if this has been rank. You made me tell that story.
It's just entertainment. Something we didn't discuss on the cutting room floor is the world's #1 divorce lawyer has revealed the most shocking prenup deal he's ever seen and has left people horrified. Discuss.
Do you have a prenup?
No, not at all.
No one we knew ever had prenups. Yeah. Now, if you remarried, would you get a prenup? Because I think they're really, it used to be the stuff of Hollywood, but I think now a lot of normal couples have prenups.
Well, my wife always says, what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Right.
Yeah, so I think I've already got a prenup as it is.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I've never really thought about that. Did you think about that?
No, we didn't have a prenup. We've been married 34 years.
Yeah.
Harley sort of does all the accounting-y stuff, so he could be planning he could have a Swiss bank account for all I know.
Yeah, that's why he's always got expensive cars and flashy women hanging around him.
That's right. And he said, I'm just into the Toblerones, that's all, the Swiss stuff.
He loves those Toblerones.
I'll tell you about this, though. The New York-based lawyer, his name is James Sexton, and he's done thousands of divorces and helped litigate and finalise these divorces. He's seen some pretty bad breakups, but he said this one was quite disturbing. This is a quote. The most shocking prenup I've ever seen had a provision that said that for every 4.5 kilograms the wife gained in the marriage, she'd lose $15,000 in alimony. The husband was very concerned that she was going to become less attractive and he was going to become more wealthy. So his solution to this was to put this in the prenup. The prenup also sees the wife earn $105,000 if she maintains her weight from the date of marriage. Even though it's outrageous, it was upheld in court.
Wow.
So it's been upheld by the law, even though other people have thought it was gross and thought it was horrific.
So the wife was compliant in this, are we presuming?
Well, she must have been. She has signed this.
Yeah, right.
Because for most of us, you'd go, well, you're a bastard, I'm out. Mm-hmm. She obviously knows he's a bastard and she's going along with it. Maybe it's her incentive to slay slim. It's interesting, if you sign up for Jenny Craig or as an ambassador, those sorts of things, you have to be weighed and it's a contract. You have to keep a certain weight. If you're a Hollywood actor and you have to look a certain way, there are in your contract that you have to have a certain kind of appearance. So these aren't unusual, but in a prenup, it seems worse when a man is saying to a woman, I don't want you to pack it on.
Yeah. And if you marry someone that's quite slight and slim and healthy, and then they just go and pack it on, and then
Do you have a right to be cranky? Do you have a right to withhold money?
Yeah.
Obviously he does. Would you be cranky? Would you say anything to Helen if she did? She hasn't, by the way, but would you?
No, I wouldn't say anything. She did say something to me, though, which is curious. When we were younger, I put on a bit of weight. She said, oh, geez, you've put on weight. And I lost the weight because of what she said.
Did it hurt you? Or you took it as practical information?
I'm a man. I'm practical and pragmatic. So someone says you put on weight, you go, yeah, right, yeah.
Sure, but if she said you're losing your hair, you're going bald, you wouldn't be so practical. We all have different
I'm not losing
sensitivities.
my hair.
No, we have different sensitivities. The
Sure.
weight you can change.
Yeah.
You may have thought, don't bring up my bald patch. You don't have a bald patch, but obviously I've hit a sensitivity.
Well, you've said this.
No,
twice.
meaning you always say, I'm a guy, I don't care.
Yeah.
But there'd be parts of it you
Well,
do
I'm not
care
going to start
about.
coming to work. There's nothing I can do about losing my hair. Like I go and
No, but if Helen said to you, I don't like that you're losing your hair, you'd be hurt.
I think she says she wishes that I run a rinse through it so it'd be a bit darker. But I don't want to look like one of those guys because it just goes orange.
Yeah.
And you got orange hair.
Like Paul McCartney did for a number of years.
Yeah, Paul McCartney.
Or you dye it too dark and just from the actual, which women like for themselves, but you
Yep.
don't want it in a man where it suddenly starts at the very top of the hair and just black.
Yeah. You got the plimsoll line there.
Yeah.
But then you look at Pierce Brosnan.
What about him?
Well, here's Misso. She's
Mm-hmm.
packed it on. Like, but he's happy.
He you know what I admire is she's never given in to that kind of criticism. A lot of people on social media say all those things that you've just said. Is Misso's packed it on? She loves herself. She loves him, and he loves her. And she hasn't got a Zempic face. You know, well, we're going to live in a world where there'll be no one who is overweight thanks to Ozempic, or particularly in Hollywood circles. I think amazingly that she's so free and it makes her so attractive.
But I was reading about Ozempic the other day that it's actually got heart benefits as well.
Yeah, but listen to this, actually. I saw Johan Hari talking about Ozempic, and he said that airlines are using less fuel, restaurants are closing down. There's all these big implications of Ozempic that's actually hitting our society already. Amazing,
Already?
isn't it? I'll play you this. You ready?
Yes. There we go.
Talk amongst yourself while I find it. Look at the cute puppies. Oh, they're cute, aren't they?
In your own time, cancel.
Here it is.
Have gone down.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
CEO Mark Schneider making a lot of worrying noises about ice cream. Jefferies Financial just did a big report for the US airlines saying they're going to have to spend a lot less money on jet fuel pretty soon because it takes a lot less jet fuel to fly a much thinner population. There's a company that makes hinges for knee and hip replacements. Their stocks have tanked because the main driver of knee and hip replacements is obesity, and there's going to be a lot fewer obese people. Jewelers have had a huge run because people's fingers are shrinking so
You're
much on
kidding
Ozempic.
me.
People
You're
have had to have their
kidding
wedding
me.
rings refitted.
Wow.
10 years from now, these drugs will almost certainly be a daily pill that costs about $1 a day. My anticipation is if we don't discover some horrific side effect, and we might well, I would anticipate half the population of the United States will be taking these drugs, and it will have incalculably huge consequences for the way we all live.
Wow.
Well, hang on. That's not wow. He's just making that up.
No, this is Johan Hari.
Yeah, I know.
It's research-based.
Yeah.
This is a big thing. But it also talks then about,
I can't imagine that the airline industry would already be seeing a difference because people are taking Ozempic.
I think they might, because every small kilogram makes a difference. But it does mean, are we moving into a world where this big body positivity movement
Yeah.
is no more? We loved that we could accept all shapes and sizes, and now we're going, you've got no excuse to be like that anymore.
Yeah. Lizzo, you won't be able to get on the Cessna. You won't even recognise her anymore.
What about Pierce Brosnan's Misso?
Well, she doesn't care. She doesn't need to take Ozempic. And good on her.
Oh, how patronising.
Good on
After just
her.
saying she's packed on the condish,
I just
and
said
now
she-
you're saying she doesn't need to. Good on her.
I didn't say it looks like she swallowed a sheep or anything.
I think you may have.
Well,
How did this conversation start? I can't even remember.
that's why it's on the curtain room floor. That was me wrapping it up.
Good.
With Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Get ready, everybody, here's some more of Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor. Yeah.
Weddings are great, aren't they?
Well, I had my wedding anniversary this week.
Yeah.
I've seen this footage of this bride who says that she's self-described as the drunkest bride alive. She said she's still haunted by a mishap she had on her wedding day. Her name is Amanda Scheller. Sounds like me in disguise, doesn't it?
It does. Is this
Amanda
woman
Scheller.
you?
No. But she said she and her husband adopted a relaxed approach to their celebrations.
Does that mean they got on it?
Well, this is a clip that's been viewed more than 2.5 million times. There were lots of fails apparently due to alcohol consumption. But when they did their wedding dance, her skirt flipped up over her head, and I don't think she's got underpants on. Can you see the picture there?
Yeah.
She says, there it is, woo. She's showing a woo, butt cheeks and all. She said, I thought I did the performance of a lifetime, drunkest bride alive. She's now embarrassed by it.
That's why they call it the wedding breakfast. You can see it. It's all there.
It's all there. Well, I hope she'd bleached so she had a white wedding. Dreadful.
Okay. It's funny weddings. I remember my one, we had my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law, was filming it and he was as drunk as a monkey.
Had you designated him as the videographer?
And this was back in the day when you had the JVC videotape player.
And you gave it to a family member. You didn't hire anyone professional.
No, you didn't get a professional, so he filmed that, which was a mess. And then my now departed Uncle Peter, you remember Uncle Peter?
What a character.
He was a lawyer. Well, he used to be a prosecution lawyer. Then, anyway, it's a big story about, but quite a character indeed. So he decided to, and I was carrying a bit of condition back in those days.
Meaning? Bit of weight.
Meaning, as he called me in the video, what a big fat C.
He says in the wedding video.
In the wedding video, so my drunken ex-brother-in-law goes up to my drunken uncle to get opinions and well wishes from the crowd, and people are saying, "Oh, well, all the best for the future and all that." And he goes, "He's a drunken fat."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then we had two videos. We had the rated PG one and then the R-rated video.
Because normally the R-rated videos are one you don't show family. You don't expect the family to be in them.
No.
You know, it's funny because considering Harley and I met at Beyond 2000 and worked in television, we didn't have a video. I didn't want any of that. We had a photographer. Mm-hmm. She was a Channel 7 photographer.
Really?
Because Beyond 2000 was Channel 7. We filmed, he took photos of me getting ready, pinning a thing to my dad's lapel, all those lovely photos. We're about to get in the car. And he said, I haven't put film in the camera.
But you have to do it all again?
Had to do it all again.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But he's professional.
Then when the same thing happened when he photographed the wedding night. How's this for another wedding story?
Can I just ask before you go on with that, when you got married to Harley, you were of note, weren't you? You were on Beyond 2000.
Yeah, we had a big double-page spread in the TV Week.
Well, what about that?
We had staples and all, Brendan.
Did you get some money for that?
No.
They didn't
In
give you any
fact,
money?
we thought we were just going to have one small photo in the corner of the magazine. We're on the cover, and then there was something inside saying we wanted to run away. Because first of all, we thought we were going to get married in Italy, as everyone says, and then you go, stuff it, let's get married in the suburb up the road. But a double-page spread.
Yeah, right.
And it's funny looking at all the wedding guests and things because I'm so bad with this stuff. Our wedding photos, I finally had them printed a few years later. I didn't even put them in an album. They're all stuck together in a box under the house. Interesting, isn't it? So when I look at the photos in the TV Week, I think, oh, that's right, they were there. That's my wedding photo.
Does anyone watch their wedding video back?
I didn't have one. Have you watched yours?
No.
No, does anyone start looking at videos of fireworks?
I'd like to get it and rewind it and see me going out of the church.
That fat snob.
That fancy.
How about this story, though? This is a story I saw that popped up on my socials. This is someone said here, 13 years ago, the greatest ever Scottish interest story that was reported in the press. I'll read it verbatim.
Please.
Like all true Scotsmen, Angus McClure, 26, didn't wear pants under his kilt when he married his sweetheart, Sarah Grant, in Glenelg, Renfrewshire. But his traditionalism led to uproar. This is a newspaper story, by the way. His traditionalism led to uproar when he perched his poorly wiped backside on 24-year-old Sarah's pristine frock, leaving an unsightly smear. After Sarah swiped at Angus, the well-refreshed McClure and Grant clans led the reception into bloody mayhem. A police source said, I've been a police officer in Glenelg for nearly 20 years, and so I've seen a lot of wedding parties turn nasty. This was something else.
This is
all over a skiddy.
This is how Braveheart started. They may take our lives.
But where's the nappy sand?
Yes. Well.
Oh, dear.
It's Jonesy and Amanda's cutting room floor.
Welcome to the cutting room floor. All the
Yes.
sweepings, the filings, the bits that are left over after the show.
What didn't we get round to today?
Well,
Talking about the history of mathematics? Hang on, we did that.
and we did that last week. There's an old saying, if you want something done, get a busy person to do it
It's so true, isn't it?
because you just get stuff done
You
when you're
get
really
stuff
busy.
done. Do you notice this when you're on holidays? Because you and I are always busy. But then when you're on your holidays and you're not busy, one thing can fill a whole day. And I'm overwhelmed by having to do one thing. Whereas if I'm busy, give me a million things
Yep.
and I'll do them.
You are a very busy person. I don't know another busier person than you, but I'll say this, you never mention that you're
Are
busy.
you mocking me now?
No, seriously, you don't. You don't say, I'm so busy. Then you'll meet someone that goes, I'm just so busy, I'm so overwhelmed. And you go, and I always think,
What do you think?
well, this dovetails nicely into this bit of information that I've got. This headline is, bragging about how busy you are makes people think you're an idiot.
Really?
Yeah. Because not that I think that someone's an idiot, but if someone goes, I've been so busy, and I go, what have you been doing? And they'll say this, this, and this. And I say, well, maybe you're just not really efficient with it.
Do you tell people that? Because
No,
no one likes being told you're not efficient.
That's in my mind.
Okay, in your mind's eye. What about all those people on Instagram who say, I'm filming my day. Here I am at the airport.
Yeah.
Here I am doing a presentation. Here I am being an influencer. Yeah, it's called doing a job. We all do it.
No one gives a
Yay, fruity, spicy language.
We'll beep that out later. It's true. No one does. No one gives. No one gives.
No one's going to reward you for being busy. And I learned this a long time ago, and I don't think that it's a compliment being told you're the hardest working person in television or whatever. That's not a compliment.
No.
And I realised too, I was once saying to Nicole Kidman, she'd done a whole stack of films in the year.
Back to a brag.
Well, but I said to something like that, and she said, oh, that sounds terrible. And it's true. You don't want to be the busiest person because it says that you're not smelling the roses, that you're not spending time with your family.
Yeah.
And you are doing all those things, but it's not an accolade to hear that you are the busiest person.
This is now a phenomenon. It's known as busy bragging, the act of boasting about how busy you are to appear more professional.
But so you're saying, though, the people hearing the brag go, why don't you shut up?
Yeah. A study by the Personal Psychology Journal, I know that you were always reading it, it's stacked up next to your toilet,
I'll do the crosswords.
found the employees who talk about how much work they have to do are likely to be perceived as less likable and less competent.
See, that's what you were saying. You think, why don't you become more efficient?
These people are known as loud labourers.
Oh.
And stress bragging can have negative implications for braggarts as they were perceived as less competent by co-workers.
But we've always worked in those offices where people do really long hours and say, oh, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And there you think, why?
Why?
Why? And some industries like to see you working long hours. Others are smarter and know that people get their jobs done. That's all that's required. You don't have to put in the long hours to do your job necessarily.
I'll tell you something about a radio
Unless
station.
you're a lighthouse keeper, say.
How do lighthouse keepers
Well, you
go?
can't just do a shorter day.
Yeah, well,
you have to take care of the hours of the light.
Well, you've got one job at night to make sure
Yeah,
the
but
globe
what if during
works.
that night you go, oh, look, I did it in 1 hour, I'm going to bed now.
No, but you're keeping the lighthouse. You don't have to look after. You don't have to look out for the
maybe
ships.
it wasn't the best analogy.
But you're keeping the
But
lighthouse.
you know what I mean. Some jobs you do. You can't do an 8-hour operation as a surgeon and a 1 hour and say, don't worry, I've done it so quickly, I've finished, I'm going home now.
I'm just going to phone this in.
I'm home to watch Tipping Point. You're going to say one radio station where you worked.
Well, no, all radio stations, I will tell you this, it's goof-off central. Every radio station I've ever worked at is a goof-off central thing. You can stand around the water cooler talking to people for half the day. And that's why people do long days. I'm in and out. I'm like a duck mating.
Is it quick?
It's not
And do they
slow.
leave you with the bill? I saw it on the web.
I was hoping not to.
It's never going to be a
I
pun-free
was
zone. You
hoping
know
not
that.
to finish this
You know that.
I'd like to swear again.
No, you finished it on a high.
Put a swear in here. Good. That was a good swear. too.
The cutting room floor.
Undercover Bajal chicken fricassee. That's what you get on the cutting room floor.
Do I have to?
Sure you do. What do you think of concerts?
Well, I like them.
You like
Thank you
concerts?
for asking.
What do you think of concerts that go on a bit long? What's your ideal length of a concert?
My ideal concert, Brendan, takes place maybe at lunchtime or 4 in the afternoon, either before I have a snooze or after I have a snooze.
Yep.
And I get to sit down and eat a cheese plate. And it's not too loud and it doesn't go on too long and I'm close to toilets. That's my ideal concert.
Do they allow cheese plates at Slipknot when you go along there?
They love a baby bell. Why were you asking me about long concerts?
Billie Eilish, this singer, has come out saying she thinks 3-hour concerts are psychotic. She dismissed the idea of performing a 3-hour concert, saying nobody wants it, and that if she were to, her concert would end up being 1 million hours long.
Do you like a long concert? Bruce Springsteen, you went to see him. He famously does a very long concert.
3.5 hour.
It
too
depends
much.
who it is. For Bruce Springsteen, that was too much?
Way too much.
See, when we went to see Kiss, the first 2 songs, amazing. The last 2 songs, amazing. They could have just done a 4-song concert
The
and I would have been
17
happy.
songs in between.
So it does depend on whether you're seeing someone who you love and you know every album track or not.
Well, I think a lot of people are expecting value for money. You want to get bang for your buck. Gene Simmons said that very thing on our radio show. For us, we don't pay for tickets. We get
I
we're
often
lucky.
do. I paid $900 to see Paul McCartney.
What are you, crazy?
No, I wasn't crazy, and it was the night
I
of my
went and saw
life.
Paul McCartney for free because you're part of the business.
No, see, this is where you and I disagree. If there's someone I really want to see, I'll pay.
Yeah.
Chris Stapleton is going to come to Australia.
Who's he?
Oh, he's this brilliant country singer. I just love him, love him, love him.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming to Australia, I think early next year, around my birthday, Brendan, February.
Okay.
Put in your diary, 25th is my birthday. And I will just pay anything to get great seats.
I'd pay to see Delamitri, the Scottish
Are
band.
they still together?
But they have a fraught history.
Would you like to see them play for 3 hours? Because I know
No.
one song of theirs.
What song do you know?
Come on, girl, let's kiss this thing.
Kiss This Thing Goodbye.
What else have they got?
Stone Cold Sober.
Okay.
Nothing Ever Happens.
Right. Well, that's not 4 hours worth.
You know that Roll to Me? Welcome to the
Oh, well,
world.
yeah, that's them too. Okay.
That's
It's still not 3 hours worth.
I don't know.
Well,
if
you
I'd-
know, but this is the
Look, I don't know if I'd see any band for 3 hours. That's a long time.
Well, the people, Billie Eilish has said, I don't want a 3 hour concert. But I tell you who's come out swinging at that is the people who went to see Taylor Swift. They said that was amazing 3 hours and it went so quickly because she was going through different eras.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a show rather than just a concert. It was a show and it had momentum and it shifted from one thing to the other. 3 hours of Billie Eilish would be a lot. 3 hours of Leonard Cohen, you'd have to scream into a pillow.
yeah.
So it depends who you're seeing. But no, not a single person said that Taylor Swift was too long.
I'd like to go and see John Mellencamp because he spits the dummy. He does 3 songs and then he buggers off.
See, that's the thing. You don't have to pay too much for parking.
Yeah.
I've only got a couple of toilet stops I'd have to do. I wouldn't have to eat or drink too much because it's a short concert.
The downside is you're seeing John Mellencamp.
Damn it.
That's
There's always a loophole, isn't there?
It's like seeing Bryan Adams. Although I will say this, I saw Bryan Adams and I thought he was very, very good.
He's cranky though, isn't he?
He's a little feisty.
He doesn't tolerate fools, which is why you and I always get anxious when we
We
have to
always say,
interview him.
whenever we interview him, he gets really huffy, doesn't he?
Mm.
Well, why is that? Because you asked about Princess Di.
I did not. I would never do that. I didn't do that.
Oh, we did the Robin Hood thing with him.
Yeah. That's all we said, that we'd heard that a bride had requested the theme from Robin Hood, thinking it would be,
Everything I do it for you.
which is a Bryan Adams song. And instead they got
Robin Hood, Robin Hood.
And he
riding
said, that's
through
an
the
urban
land."
myth. It never happened. And we said, I'll just play
Great,
along.
no fun, Brian.
Yeah, no
We're just trying
fun.
to put a friggin' radio show together, mate.
P.S. Did you root Princess Diana? And that's where the interview
Well,
ended.
what do you know about that?
I don't know anything. You're the one who told me that.
Well, no, I asked him. That's right. I was the one that asked him. I said, what's about you and Princess Di?
Oh, who's going to answer that politely? No one who is cranky.
You know what he did tell us, though? You know,
She was a great kisser.
you know the song, speaking of sexual stuff, Summer of 69, it's not about the year. It's about the sex act.
Oh, duh.
Well, you knew that.
Well, who writes a song, Summer of 69, and says it's about a summer? Come on.
You know,
Are you so naive?
no, I've known that for years, but everyone thinks that it was all, you know, the summer of 69.
And
He had
giggled thinking it's slightly rude, not knowing he intended
it
it.
back in the summer of 69. And then even in one of the lyrics is, me and my baby in a 69. He actually says that.
Yeah, now you mention it.
He's rubbing it in your face.
Yeah. Everything I do it for you. That's why Diana had such issues.
Does anyone do 69s anymore?
Oh, just stop. You know you're saying things out loud.
I'm just curious. I wonder who
We'll
came.
go to bingo. They still call it out all the time.
Who do you yeah, room with, what is it, dinner with a view?
Give the windows a clean.
But who do you think in the world of stuff?
No, I'm not discussing this with
come
you.
on.
No, I'm not.
This is why it's on the cutting room floor.
No,
Can I just ask,
and that's where that should stay.
in the world of sex, the history of sex,
What's the question? See, you don't even have a question.
who came up with it?
Oh, let me have a look. It's Jennifer Biggins in 1258. Happy?
Who invented it? Anyway, you could go and see a long concert or a short concert. It's up to you. Or if you go and see Pink Floyd, it's just one song in, 3 hours. I was trying to wrap it up with
I'm
something
glad
else.
you've wrapped it up nicely. Let's move on.
That's it for today. That was Jonesy and Emily's cutting room floor. Come back tomorrow for some more.